Prophet Lot belonged to the same lineage and family of Prophet Ibrahim. According to some narrations, he was the nephew of Prophet Ibrahim, and lived with him in the region of Iraq and Babylon. When Prophet Abraham migrated on the command of Allah, Prophet Lot also joined him in that journey. He always remained close to his uncle and learned from him the lessons of faith, monotheism, and patience. When Prophet Abraham migrated towards Syria and Palestine, Allah sent Prophet Lot as a prophet to a separate settlement so that he may guide its people towards the straight path. This settlement was located near the River Jordan, and in history it is remembered as Sodom and Gomorrah. These cities had fertile lands and prosperous economies, but their moral condition had fallen to the worst level. The people were indulged in immorality, oppression, and robbery. They not only practiced idolatry, but were also involved in sins that for the first time in human history became common among them. Allah granted Prophet Lot prophethood and sent him to reform this nation. The people of Sodom were blessed with many bounties of Allah. Fertile lands, abundance of water, and opportunities of trade had made them prosperous. But this prosperity hardened their hearts. They forgot Allah and started walking on the paths of Satan. Their greatest evil was that they were the first nation in human history to practice homosexuality. Men would commit indecency with men and boast about it. The Quran says, "And we sent Lot, when he said to his people, 'Do you commit such immorality as no one among the worlds has ever done before you? Indeed, you approach men with desire instead of women. You are certainly a people who exceed all bounds.' This indecency was not just a habit, but had become their collective system. They would sit on the roads, rob travelers, mock them, and then commit indecency with them. Their chiefs were proud of it and declared it their identity. Leaving women and turning to men was for them a matter of culture. In such an environment, Allah sent Prophet Lot as a prophet to guide them. He first directed their attention towards the oneness of Allah and said, "Will you not fear Allah? Indeed, I am to you a trustworthy messenger. So fear Allah and obey me." But the leaders of the people mocked his message. They said, "O Lot, you are indeed a person who pretends to be pure. We do not need your advice. If you do not stop, we will surely expel you from our town." Some of them said, "Expel Lot and his family from your town, for they are people who keep themselves pure." Prophet Lot explained with gentleness that this evil would lead them to destruction in this world and in the hereafter. But they only laughed and said, "Bring us the punishment of Allah if you are truthful." This rejection showed their arrogance and rebellion. Prophet Lot kept reminding his people again and again that such immorality invites the wrath of Allah. But every day they increased in rebellion. The chiefs of the people mocked him and often threatened that if he did not stop his preaching, they would drive him out of the town. Some even raised their hands against him and tried to harm him, but Prophet Lot remained patient, trusting in Allah, and continued to advise his people with gentleness. The Quran says that they told Prophet Lot, "O Lot, if you do not desist, you will surely be expelled." Prophet Lot replied, "Indeed, I am of those who detest your evil deeds." Despite their rejection and arrogance, Prophet Lot constantly prayed for their guidance, but their wickedness reached its peak. They would sit on the roads, stop travelers, oppress them, and commit indecent acts with them. Their towns had become the center of corruption, injustice, and shamelessness. When Allah's final decision came that punishment would descend upon this nation, He sent angels. These angels first came to Prophet Abraham to give him glad tidings of his son Ishaq and to inform him that they had been sent to destroy the people of Lot. Prophet Abraham pleaded on their behalf, but the angel said, "O Abraham, do not argue concerning this matter. The decision of your Lord has already been made. After this, the angels came to Prophet Lot in the form of handsome young men. When Prophet Lot saw them, he immediately became distressed, knowing that his people, upon seeing them, would rush with evil intentions towards his house. He said to his guests, "This is indeed a day of great distress." And it happened exactly as he feared. The men of the town heard that Lot had received handsome guests, so they rushed to his house with wicked intentions and began knocking at the door. Prophet Lot tried to stop them and said, "O my people, here are my daughters. They are purer for you, so fear Allah and do not disgrace me regarding my guests." But they stubbornly replied, "You already know that we have no interest in your daughters. Indeed, you know well what we desire." Their answer clearly exposed their wickedness and the extreme corruption they had reached. When the people were certain that handsome young guests had come to the house of Prophet Lot, they gathered in crowds outside his door. They shouted, raised their voices, and tried to break the door. Prophet Lot made a final attempt to warn them and said, "O my people, here are my daughters. They are purer for you, so fear Allah and do not disgrace me regarding my guests." Surah Hud 78 translation. But the people were blinded by their arrogance and lust. They continued to scream, "We do not need your advice. We only want what we desire." This was an extremely difficult time for Prophet Lot. In his heart he prayed, asking Allah for help against this corrupt people. The Quran tells us that Prophet Lot said, "If only I had against you some power, or could take refuge in a strong support." At that moment, the angels revealed themselves and said to Prophet Lot, "O Lot, we are messengers of your Lord. These people will never be able to harm you. So set out with your family during a part of the night and let none of you look back." Then the angels opened the door and, by Allah's command, struck those wicked men so that their eyes were blinded. They became blind, screamed in pain, and ran away crying. Yet they still remained stubborn and declared that at sunrise they would surely expel Lot and his household from the town. At that very time, Allah's decree was announced. At dawn, this nation would be struck by a punishment that would become a lasting lesson in history. The angels instructed Prophet Lot to leave the town with his believing companions, but not to take his wife with him, for she too was among the disbelievers and would be destroyed with them. So, in the darkness of the night, Prophet Lot left the town with his daughters and a few believers. They were under the protection of Allah, while behind them their people remained drowned in sleep and heedlessness. They had no idea that, with the first rays of the morning, the punishment of Allah would descend upon them and wipe away all their pride, arrogance, and immorality. When Allah's decree became final, the angels escorted Prophet Lot and his followers out of the town at dawn. With him were his daughters and a few believing people. His wife, however, remained behind because in her heart she shared in the corruption of the people and did not leave with the believers. The Quran mentions, "So we saved Lot and his family, except his wife, who was of those who lagged behind." Then Allah's command was enforced, and the very laws of heaven and earth were overturned. The foundations of the town were uprooted from the earth. The angels lifted the towns of the people high up towards the heavens, so much so that the inhabitants of the skies could hear the screams of the people. Then they were turned upside down and cast down to the ground. After that, a rain of stones made of baked clay poured from the sky, and each stone bore the name of the one upon whom it would fall. The Quran states, "And we rained upon them a rain, then see how was the end of the criminals." The land that was once filled with fertile fields and gardens turned into desolation and ruins. The places where those towns once stood remain near the Dead Sea even today, serving as a reminder and sign for the world. Allah erased their arrogance and immorality in such a way that their very name became a mark of shame and fear. Prophet Lot and the believers who were with him remained safe under Allah's protection. They witnessed with their own eyes how the nation that once took pride in its strength and its so-called culture was utterly destroyed with a single command of Allah. Prophet Lot thanked Allah and spent the rest of his life after migration guiding the believers who were saved with him. This event is not just a historical incident, but a great lesson. It reminds us that when nations drown in immorality, injustice, and polytheism, they cannot escape the grasp of Allah no matter how prosperous or powerful they may be. And those who truly believe in Allah always remain under His divine protection.